Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mixer. We're up to episode 9, nearly in double figures of our FM20 beta save with Atletico Madrid. And we're pretty much going to jump straight back into it. A massive episode today, but there is a bit of a disclaimer that comes before we get into it. I did mention in the last episode we've had a whole bunch of different crash dumps that have happened. And after we stopped recording the last episode, we did get another one in the next game. So there's a bit of revisionist history that's going to come through. We did, of course, play Young Boys in our last game. We did also play Granada off screen. Because of that crash dump that happened here in the game against Mallorca, we had to go back and play those games again. It's on me. I should have saved it after we finished recording. I didn't. We still got through. We still beat Granada. We've beaten Mallorca. We've beaten Valladolid. The only difference is that initially we were going to play Cercle Bruges, and now we're going to be playing Arsenal in the Europa League knockout stages. So you're going to get an extra episode as a bit of an apology. Oh, sorry, not an extra episode. A bit extra game in this episode as a bit of an apology. So we'll do the first leg against Arsenal. We're going to do our massive first v third fixture against Real Madrid. We need to try and beat them to stay in contention. And I'll just make this now so that you guys can look at the table. We're still 3 points off Barcelona and Madrid. Madrid have scored more than 72. Oh, they've got a plus goal difference of 72. 20 goals more than ours. And we've been absolutely belting teams. So the way that they're just tearing teams apart when they actually win is ridiculous. They've still only lost once this season to Valencia. They've had 2 draws, the same as us, against us and Barcelona. They're just not dropping a tremendous amount of points. Neither are Barcelona. They've been on a phenomenal run of form. We are the only team that has beaten them. And it's starting to get real difficult. Like the 1-0 win against Mallorca, we scored late through a set piece for Mario Hermoso, but that was a real tense game. I thought we were going to drop 5 points behind. Valladolid, thankfully, we got the penalty in injury time of the first half. It was enough to see us through. Diego Costa dragging us through that one. But we desperately need to win the game against Real Madrid because we're running out of games for them to actually drop points. But before we get to that, we have to get through the games against Arsenal, so we're going to jump pretty much straight into those matches. We've got a couple of players out through injury and that sort of thing, but we should still have enough to get beyond. And this is the lineup that we're going with. Hermoso, Savic and Jimenez as our back three. Oblak, of course, in goal. Grimaldo as the left wing back. Trippier as the right wing back. Saul and Llorente as the midfield pairing as Koke continues to work his way back from injury. Vitola on the left wing, Lamar on the right, Diego Costa up top. The other thing that happened is that in that weird timeline skew that we've now got, Vasalko left and went to China. No one's bid on him, so I can't sell him. So he's still back in the squad somehow. He gets a second chance, I guess. They're playing a 3-man backline as well, or they're playing a 5-3-2 more accurately to get Lacazette and Aubameyang out there. It looks like a decent-ish team, but they're struggling in the real world. Hopefully we can get beyond them today, and a good performance at home at the Metropolitano would be fantastic. Passionately, we're going to say media have given you a lot of credit. A few seem to have responded positively. I'm also going to tell Diego Costa more of the same from him, and he switched off. Fantastic work, Sean. Should have just left it alone. Why do I touch things? Why am I like this? First highlight of the game, Oblak with a deep goal kick. Plays to Grimaldo, who looks for Vitola in the hole. He's gotten in behind. Can he find the finish from the edge? And he cannot. They did put a hot fix out, and hopefully that has resolved some of the crashes that we're seeing, but I don't know if it resolves some of the issues relating to like 1v1s, a whole bunch of other stuff that comes up with that as well. Another highlight here, it's going to start with Trippier on the right. Lamar tried to turn, but Mustafi wins the ball back. David Luiz goes all the way back to Lino in goal. Just let him have it, they're not going anywhere. Forward to Chambers, now you can press. Into Luiz, long ball forward, should be tidied up by Hermoso. Now to Llorente. Hermoso again. Into Llorente, looks for Grimaldo's overlapping run. Finds it now. Can he get a ball in the box? Cuts it back to Saul at the top of the area. And that is a fantastic strike. 10th goal of the season for Saul. Assist by Alex Grimaldo. Did very well just to get his head up, lay it back across. And that is an excellent finish from the top of the box. I did see like a Reddit post or something the other day where people were talking about how like overpowered long shots are. And Saul has scored pretty much that goal 10 times for us so far this season. A great strike. And we go a goal up in the first leg. We're going to also tell them to get creative and try and put our foot down a little bit. No one has responded positively to that, so my team talks are going fantastically well. Throw in here into Diego Costa. Deep ball across towards Trippier. He heads it back in. Aubameyang now. Back to Luiz. Cut out by Lamar. Can he find the finish from the angle? He can't. He could have just squared that one up to Diego Costa as well. Haven't really found that right balance of wingers looking to lay it on a plate for the striker, but we are still winning, so I'm not going to complain. Half time, 1-0 up, 13 shots, 8 on target, 50% of the ball. They've had 4, 2, and 50. It's a very different Arsenal lineup. Passionately, we're going to say Happy with your performance so far. They've responded pretty well. Assertively, let's sell the defence. You can still improve, and they seem happy as well. If we can get a clean sheet, if we can get a 2-goal advantage and take that with us back to the Emirates, or not back to the Emirates, to the Emirates for the first time, that'll be great. Trippier with the ball now, skips past one challenge. Still in the edge of the area. Tierney wins it back, but it goes back to Llorente. All the way back to Jimenez now. Square to Savage. Long ball into the corner towards Lamar. Can he get the ball in? Deep one towards Vitolo, back stick, and he's hit the crossbar, and Luis hacks it away for a corner. Is that the end of the highlight? We're going to see the corner here as well. Diego Costa's in the area. If he finds Jimenez at the back post, he might be offside. The linesman hasn't moved, and that's usually... Yeah, they've chalked that one out for VAR, but the linesman, I think, had it covered. Immediate highlight again. Ball out to Maitland-Niles on the right wing. Ball forward towards Lacazette. Grimaldo wins it back very well. Plays a square ball to Llorente. Ball over to Grimaldo. He's not doing anything in particular with it. Saul finds Grimaldo again. Excellent reverse pass. Cuts it back to Saul again. Strikes from the top of the box. Similar area to where he scored his first goal. And that one is just over. Right, they've got another one here. Lino to start with the ball. Get my cursor out of the way. Maitland-Niles back to Chambers. Maitland-Niles has gotten goal side now. Looks for the crossfield switch. Trippier is in the area. He has got a yellow card we're going to have to be wary of. All the way back to Oblak. Out the other side now to Grimaldo. We've got a 2v1 if we move this effectively. Instead he goes back to Hermoso. Saul's in the middle. Back to Hermoso again. They're just keeping possession very well, which is good, but we've coughed it up in a bad area. Aubameyang's gotten in behind, and thankfully he has screwed his shot just wide. First highlight we've seen for Arsenal. It's taken an hour, but they've got a ball here again. Aubameyang back to Maitland-Niles. Deep one across. Guendouzi. Out to Maitland-Niles again. Just stand him up. Don't do anything silly. Guendouzi back to Tierney again. They're working it from side to side, all the way back to Mustafi. Into Dani Ceballos, all the way back to Lino. It's a poor clearance. Can we recover? Well, Llorente nearly won the ball back, but Maitland-Niles now has it on the right-hand side. Saul recovers in a deep position. Hermoso with a long ball forward towards Diego Costa, who brings it down very, very well. Savage to Llorente, out to Grimaldo. Bring the ball forward, boys. Let's go for it. And Jacques has won the ball back, but then Grimaldo wins it straight back. There's a lot going on in this highlight. Ball out right now to Trippier. Can he get the ball in the box? Backstick run to Vitolo, and it's a poor header. Didn't get it on target. We're going to have a look at our subs, and I'm just going to change the 3 that have yellow cards. So Jimenez will come off for Felipe. Morata will come on for Diego Costa. And I've accidentally swapped them two for some reason. And Trippier will come off. Trippier might stay out there because we don't have Basalco on the bench. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. We're going to trust Kieran Trippier to not get sent off. Assertively, we have faith in him. Oh, actually, no, we do have one more sub we can do. I'll give it another minute, though, and then we'll do it. Let's also use our Get Creative shout with an hour gone. Good old faithful. Gets us through most of the time. A couple of are inspired, a couple are looking complacent, which is disappointing. Deep ball in from Lamar from the corner. Pinballs around. They've gotten it away now to Pepe, who's come off the bench. He bursts forward. He's not got anything in the middle. No one do anything silly. Hangs it up for Aubameyang, and he's pulled it back well. 22nd goal of the season for Aubameyang. Disappointing. All right, what can we do here? Who's struggling the most? Vitolo hasn't played well. Llorente hasn't played well. Let's bring on Koke. Welcome him back to the fold. He's still not fully fit, but assertively, let's say he can make a difference, and we'll confirm that talk. We need to get a win, and now that they've pulled back an away goal, a bit disappointing. 10 minutes remaining. Let's use our demand more shout. Everyone seems focused, which is good. All right, throw in here in a deep area for us. Grimaldo back to Hermoso. Forward to Grimaldo again. He's got a man in the middle in Saul. Instead, he looks for a crossfield switch that wasn't really on. Tierney tidies up. Koke wins the ball back in midfield. Finds Lamar. Back to Koke again. Switch out to Vitolo. Now to Grimaldo. Back to Hermoso. We're keeping the ball very well. Long ball across the field towards Lamar. Can we get into the box and find the finish? Cuts it back to Koke. Now to Trippier on the overlapping run. Get the ball in, boys. Skips past one. Finds Saul at the top of the box. Finds Vitolo. And we've found the winner in the 90th minute. 17th goal of the season for Vitolo, which is a fantastic return from a player that I didn't really expect to do that much this year. And we should, fingers and toes crossed, get through injury time without conceding again. It's a good ball across. Good flick on header from Saul. It's either a poor shot or he spotted a run fantastically well of Vitolo. And he's had 3 or 4 chances this game, and finally he puts one in the back of the net. Had a shitload of shots. There's another highlight here in additional time. Lamar's gotten through. There's men powering forward in the middle. Cuts it back to Trippier. Hangs the ball back stick. Saul at the top of the box. Finds Vitolo again. Gets the strike away, and it was too high. Never really looked like challenging the goal. 2 more minutes of injury time. We're going to see any further highlights? No, we're not. It ends 2-1. A good win, a good performance. 27 shots, 11 on target, 46% of the ball. Saul gets the man of the match rating with an 8.8. Magic of editing. We're going to jump forward to the game against Real Madrid now. Right, we'll jump back in a little bit early because the quarterfinal and semi-final draws are actually today, even though the games haven't finished, which is a weird one. So we're going to jump in and have a look at who we might potentially be getting, and then we can keep an eye on those games as well as they continue. So Sevilla or Shakhtar will play Lazio or Wolfsburg. Saint Etienne or Stade Rennes will play Salzburg or Roma. Manchester United or Copenhagen will play Mönchengladbach or Besiktas. So we're going to play either Club Brugge or CSKA or Moscow, depending on who gets through in that result. So we might end up playing Club Brugge after all, but we've got to get past Arsenal first. Oh, now it wants to do the semi-final as well. Okay, so let's just let that one go. Copenhagen, Manchester United, Mönchengladbach or Besiktas will play Sevilla, Shakhtar, Lazio or Wolfsburg. Us, Arsenal, Bruges or Moscow will play one of Saint Etienne, Stade Rennes, Salzburg or Roma. So we've got a decent run to the final, but we have to get past Arsenal first. Just like that, we are a couple of days further forward. We have made 2 changes to the lineup. Koke will come back in and anchor midfield for Llorente, and Vasalko will come in for Trippier on the right now that he's back from suspension. Interestingly, Thomas Lemar this week is now perfect in his role as an inverted winger on the right-hand side, which is great. And I think Savic is also the covering defender, is now perfect in that role. So players continuing to grow and develop and get used to the system. Hopefully we can leverage that for a good performance today. They're playing a 4-3-3, a very strong looking 4-3-3 shape. Nacho as the left back might be a little bit of a weakness. Militao at centre back was a beast in last year's game. They're playing Areola in goal instead of Courtois, who is on the bench, interestingly. Casemiro, Cruz and Modric in midfield, Hazard and Bale on the wings cutting inside, and Benzema up top. It's a very, very strong lineup still, and it kind of shows exactly why they are pretty much smashing the league in this season. Passionately, we're going to say, let's give these fans a performance to cheer for. They've at least responded positively to that. Let's try again with Diego Costa. We didn't get much out of him last time. Passionately say, I have faith in you. He doesn't give a shit. Sergio Ramos with a deep free kick to kick off the highlights, out to Bale. Steps inside, crosses it out to Hazard on the left wing. Cuts it back for Nacho. Deep ball away. Hermoso gets it away. Only as far as Adrizola at the top of the box. And it pinballs around. Adrizola's excellent strike. Hit the inside of the crossbar, I think it was. And then fell to Benzema, who pokes it home. So 7 minutes in, we've already gone a goal down. Only the 13th goal of the season for Benzema. Given the way they've smashed teams, that is surprising. Hermoso's clearance. Adrizola, great strike. And Benzema is just the fox in the box and puts that one home from the rebound. Not a lot Oblak could have done about it. And really, that strike from distance, it could have gone anywhere. It just falls to the striker, which is frustrating. Deep free kick now from Modric. Headed away by Vasalko to Benzema at the top of the box. Out to Modric again. Cuts it back to Militao. Casemiro now. If we win the ball back, we're set for a counter. But Hazard finds Ramos on the left wing. Cuts it back to Toni Kroos. Switch out to Modric. Into Bale, and we're 2-0 down inside 15 minutes. This is not going particularly well. Let's demand more from the team and see if we get some sort of response out of them. It's not bad play. They retain the ball very well. It's different players forward that you think. Like Ramos stays forward. Kroos switches it out to Modric, the other midfielder. And then Bale just smashes that one near post as soon as it finds its way to him. Good to see him playing, but he couldn't... I don't know what that highlight was. I think his legs went all crazy. Here we go. First throw-in in possession for us here. Ball forward to Grimaldo from the throw-in. Back to Hermoso. All the way back to Oblak. Ball out to Jimenez. We've got 2 men on the right-hand side if we can find them. Koke finds Lemar now. Switch out to Vitolo. There's an overlapping run from Grimaldo if we release it. Instead, he's smashed it to Hazard in the middle of the park. I don't know what he was doing there. Back to Odriozola. All the way back to Militao. Ball in behind towards Benzema. Jimenez does well to recover. Ball forward. Saul's recovered in a good position. We've got men forward. Lemar now has space in front of him. Can he find the finish? He does. He pulled one back pretty early on. 7th goal of the season for Thomas Lemar. Now, can we get a second and try and make this a contest again? It's very good play here from Saul. Pushes on, presses the centre back, wins the ball back, releases Lemar into that little space, and it's a good finish. He had a lot to do. Defenders around him closing down. Goalkeeper positioning maybe could have been a little bit better, but I'm going to take it. Corner now to be taken by Cruz. Deep one towards Benzema, and they've got a third. 14th goal of the season, Karim Benzema. Very, very, very disappointing. And I can definitely fire a bit of a rocket at half-time. We're 30 minutes in. Maybe I'll use our get creative. It's just a deep corner away. Who is that gives up on the header? Is it... I think it was Savic. Let's use our get creative shout. See if we can push for some sort of response. At least we know we can go in at half-time, fire the rocket, and go to our attacking structure and just go after it a bit in the second half. We have recovered the ball here through Saul. Out to Lamar now. Back to Vasalco. I give it up. Back to Jimenez. Looks for the ball in behind towards Diego Costa. Odriozola's there. Goes back to Areola in goal. Cruz finds Bale in behind. Just get goal side. Just stand him up. Hermoso, thankfully, shepherds him away and he puts the cross/shot in the side netting. Ball forward immediately to Grimaldo from the goal kick. Inside to Saul. Crossfield switch out to Vasalco now. We've got a 2v1 here if we work it correctly. Instead, we give it straight back to them. Modric to Cruz, who's basically just putting balls in behind whenever he wants. Saul does very well to win the ball back. Played forward now. Back to Cruz, back to Modric. Now out to Bale. Odriozola, who's having a good game. Militao into Modric. Saul's getting through a lot of running. He's going to have to keep that up for 90 minutes. Hazard now on the left wing. Bursts into the box. Vasalco goes in and makes a stupid challenge when he didn't need to. We're about to go 4-1 down from the penalty spot. This isn't going particularly well. Benzema, and he smashes it home. We have been in good form. I don't know where this is coming from, and the rash decisions we're making defensively aren't really helping either. 4-1 down inside the first half. It's a good penalty, and Benzema gets a hat-trick after scoring. Didn't I just say at the start of the game? He hasn't scored much this year, so he's making up for that today. Some sort of highlight there. We've just seen the very end of it. Cruz now, deep free kick towards Sergio Ramos, who thankfully heads over. Militao now, deep free kick towards Modric. Out to Hazard. Overlapping run from Nacho. Cuts inside on his right foot. Finds Bale back post and no one challenges the header. It's very poor. Ball over now for Vitolo. If you can get him behind. Militao has clipped him. Militao is on a yellow card. Are they going to go down to 10? They are indeed. And they've taken off Gareth Bale to bring on Rafael Varane. So they're going to be defending quite a bit. And at half time, they're down to 10. We're 4-1 down, which is the shit part. But at least they're down to 10. They've had 12 shots, 5 on target, 60% of the ball. We've had 6, 4 and 40. We're going to go into the dressing room. We're going to aggressively tell everyone that they are shit. That was absolutely terrible. They responded at least a little bit to that. And tactically, we're going to switch to our attacking shape. Who is struggling the most from form and fitness perspective? Savic hasn't played well. Hermoso, our 3 defenders haven't played well. Add Vasalco into that. The only defender that's doing okay is Grimaldo on the left wing. So maybe we'll bring on Kieran Trippier at halftime for Vasalco. And we'll hold off on that. Is there anything we can do to try and push on and get at least a goal? If we get 1 goal, that opens the door a little bit. They seem to be defending pretty well. We've gotten to the hour mark relatively quickly. Let's use our get creative shout. Okay, a few players have responded inspired. We've got a highlight here. Let's just see how it plays out before we make any subs. Trippier now with the ball on the right-hand side. Switches out to Grimaldo. Bursts into the area now. Gets his strike away. It's not the best effort. Who else wasn't playing well? I don't worry about the defenders too much. Let's take off Koke for Llorente. And up front, what can we do? Vitolo's playing okay. We don't have much depth in the way of players. Let's take off Diego Costa and bring on Alvaro Morata. And let's passionately tell them, make a difference. They don't give a shit. Oh, what's going on? Is it because I've only ever played Sunday League football? Is that why they don't respect me? That's why they didn't respect Mourinho. About 10 minutes to go. Let's use our get creative shout again. A few are inspired. I just want to try and pull something back and save face. We've been playing against 10 men now for the majority of the game and haven't really had a highlight to speak of since. 2 minutes to be added on and we're through the whole thing. So we lost 4-1 to 10 men. Ridiculous. 13 shots, 5 on target, 55% of the ball to them. We had 16, 9 and 45%, but we had no bloody highlights to speak of. Aggressive, far from pleased. He wanted me to tell them that their efforts were excellent, losing 4-1 to our Madrid rivals. Absolutely horrific. At least, well, we fall 6 points behind in the league, so that's kind of depressing. Even more depressing by the fact that Barcelona only drew their match, and we could have caught up some points to them in second. We are still in the Europa League. We can still get past Arsenal away from home if we perform correctly. That game is in 3 days, so we're going to give everyone a day's rest, and we'll just do that with the whole squad, I think. And we will push everyone forward. Benzema sends Real Madrid top. They were top anyway. Don't be ridiculous. Anyway, magic betting. We'll jump forward to the second leg against Arsenal now. Alright, just like that, we're a couple of days ahead. We are going to pretty much name an unchanged lineup. Renan Lodi's the only one that comes in for Grimaldo, who is suspended. They're playing a 4-2-3-1 now, bringing in Ozil and Pepe. Lacazette moves out to the left wing, and they've dropped a defender and brought in Bellerin, who I don't think played in the first game. So, pragmatic from Emery, we should still be able to get past them, passionately, let's say. Media have given you a lot of credit lately. And maybe we can save my job. The expectation was for us to win the league this season. Maybe we can save my job if I can get past and win the Europa League. But getting knocked out from the Champions League, probably finishing third in La Liga. Disappointing way to finish the season. And some immediate highlight there, Ozil with a deep free kick and headed over. We've got a corner here, Lamar to take. Deep one towards, David Luiz heads it away. Aubameyang is bursting forward. Ozil's also hanging around that area. Someone's got to go to him. Strikes from distance when he probably could have taken on the defender and gotten past him. And thankfully, just over the bar. Lino now. Deep free kick towards Socrates. Or Socrates. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce any of these names. I get them wrong all the time, but I say them with confidence, so you guys can't tell. Bellerin, ball out on the right-hand side. Cuts it back to Xhaka. Now Ceballos. Xhaka again, forward to Pepe. Back to Bellerin. It's that old Arsenal passing style that they're trying to do. Not executing it particularly well yet. Ceballos with a strike from distance, just wide. As soon as that sentence came out of my mouth, I thought he's going to smash this top corner, isn't he? Just to piss me off. Throw in here, into Koke. Now Saul. Out to Vasalko in the wide area. If we get a goal here, we might kill it off. Instead, it's hooked away. Saul should tidy up. Goes back to Hermoso. Into Koke in midfield. Savic. Ball across to Vasalko. Use this overlapping on the right. Lacazette is a forward. He's not that used to playing on a wing. Not that good defensively. Diego Costa gets in now. Lino spills. Vitolo cuts it back and does very well to get it on target, but Lino recovers and holds right on the line. We've used our demand more shout as well, just to try and give everyone some confidence, but everyone seems pressured. My team talks in this episode are not going particularly well. Lacazette with a switch out towards Pepe. Just stand him up. Bellerin now on the right-hand side. We have looked at bringing in Bellerin for our own team. He skips past one challenge, gets into the box, cuts it back, and it hits the deck, and that is a phenomenal charging clearance by Jimenez to keep out Lacazette's goal-bound shot. Corner in now, Ozil to take, Aubameyang back post, thankfully heads wide. Alright, we get to half-time at 0-0. They've had 17 shots, 7 on target, 51% of the ball. We've had 5, 4, and 49%. And we're going to passionately say, Medi have given you a lot of credit lately, and everyone seems to have responded positively to that. Can we try and nick a goal against the run of play? Statistically speaking, our tactic, our shape, whatever else has never actually gotten us that much. But we have won against teams. Pepe scored, for fuck's sake. I was talking about something else. And Arsenal will triumph on the away goal rule, so we've got to go after it a little bit. We'll check it out in 3 dimensions here. It's just a corner routine. Ozil takes it. Jimenez heads away. Xhaka just plays it straight back into Pepe, and he hooks it on his wrong foot, which, as far as what I've seen from Pepe's live action play, he can't even kick it with his right foot. We have got a highlight here immediately. Vasalko finds Jimenez. Crossfield switch out to Hermoso. If we get a goal early, we might be back on in this one. Vasalko, crossfield switch to Vitolo. Can he get the ball in the box? No, he's giving it straight back to Bellerin, who's bursting forward at pace. Hermoso with an excellent challenge. Renan Lodi plays it forward up the line now to Vitolo. Switch out towards Thomas Lemar. Tierney heads it away. Ozil back to Socrates. Ball over the top for the goal scorer. Pepe is in the box now. Thankfully puts that one straight at the keeper. Alright, we've got to go after it. We can't sit back and wait. Vitolo's having a poor game, so we're going to bring on Baronesia, I guess. And Lodi's having a poor game, but we don't have a backup wing back. Trippier, is he on the bench? No, he's suspended. Diego Costa's playing poorly, so let's bring on Morata. And let's switch to our attacking structure. Let's just go for it a bit. Passionately, let's say, I have faith in you, make a difference. They don't care again. Highlight continues for Arsenal here. Over to Bellerin. Gets his strike all wrong, and it never really looked like challenging the goal. Use our shout. Let's get creative. Tierney, throw in now to Ceballos. Away by Hermoso. Xhaka with the strike, and thankfully that's just wide. They're all over us at the moment. We've got to throw in here. Vasalko to take up the line to Lamar. Crossfield switch to no one in particular. Pepe recovers. Plays Ozil in. Top of the box. He's put that one away. We're going to get knocked out of Europe, and we're going to pretty much resign ourselves to not winning La Liga in this episode. So things are going fantastically well. I wonder what things are like on the other timeline where we played Cercle Bruges. Did we get through that one? Did we beat Real Madrid in that particular game? Is this crash dump purely just to torture me? It's not a bad strike. Again, on his right foot, I don't think he can do that, but it's a video game. You've got to take these things into account. If we get one, it'll make it level on away goals, so I think we still can find a way into injury time. Morata, ball out by Ceballos. He's found Aubameyang in behind. They're just finishing everything at the moment. And that's 3-0 on the day, 4-2 on aggregate. Dare I say it, our fucking European journey has come to an end. Ceballos just, one time, puts it into the area in behind. Defensive line, which has been so good all season. Aubameyang just peels off, skips around the keeper, and passes it into the back of the empty net. 23rd goal of the season for him. Very, very frustrating because we were so good in the first game. We just didn't make our dominance in that one count. Right, this hasn't really worked going to our attacking structure. Should we just, for shits and giggles, Lamar with the free kick. Shits and giggles, let's pull it out. We haven't done it yet. Let's go to the 2-7-2 and see what happens. I've still got one more sub up my sleeve. Would Koke be a good anchor man? Yeah, screw it. Let's go with that. I mean, look, we've not really got anything to lose. Passionately, let's say. Faith in you, make a difference. Marcus Llorente doesn't give a shit. He wants to leave the club. I don't really blame him. And let's get creative. Let's just go crazy with it. Black, deep ball from the goal kick. Savic now. Looks for Saul. Out to Vasalko, making the overlapping run. Back to Koke. Vasalko again. Koke. Vasalko. Koke again. Finds Saul. Playing a nice little passing play here. Murata, strike from distance, was never really on. It looked like he was trying to chip a goalkeeper that was on his line. Lino pushes it over. What's going to happen from the corner here? Anything could happen. It's headed away to Aubameyang. Finds Ozil on the right. It's got men getting forward now. Aubameyang on the reverse, and thankfully Oblak does well to come out and claim. Is anything crazy going to happen with this formation? Lodi now. I mean, we've had more highlights since we've changed to the 2-7-2 than we had with the 5-2-3. Ball forward towards Thierry's going to blah, blah, blah. I've forgotten how to speak, but Vasalko has given it up to Aubameyang in a poor area. Savic recovers in midfield, but then they launch a counter-attack towards Aubameyang on the left wing. Skips past 2 challenges, gets his strike away, and thankfully the follow-up he puts into the side netting. So they're still all over us. Oblak now from the goal kick. Finds Renan Lodi on the left. Inside to Llorente. Savic to Llorente. Ball over the top for Saul. He's made an overlapping run. Can he find the finish? He's on his own. He does very, very well actually to get that one on goal. Our defenders all around him. We've at least seen some sort of response, which is cool. But in the last 10 minutes, we need 2 goals, so let's demand more. Deep ball from Saka to Aubameyang again, who pinballs it around, and Ozil pokes it home to make it 4-0 on the day and 5-2 on aggregate. The wheels are fucking coming off, boys. This is what's happening. Saka, deep ball across. Saka's a bit of a wonder kid if you can pick him up in your own saves. He looks like a decent left winger. Ozil gets his double. Aubameyang has torn us apart in this second half. 3 minutes to be added on, and we've lost 4-0 in the return fixture. We couldn't defend our lead. 35 shots, 17 on target, 51% of the ball, 11, 8, and 49%. I don't even want to go. I don't want to go any further. We're gonna end it there because I've cracked it a little bit. I'm not happy with the way that that's gone. We had a different timeline where we might have played Cercle Bruges, where we were in phenomenal league form, where we might have actually beaten Real Madrid, and it's all gone to shit in the last 2 games. So, no European football, no Super Cup. Oh no, we won the Super Cup. No Copa del Rey, probably no La Liga, unless Real Madrid absolutely cock it up and drop 6 points. And even then, I don't think we go ahead of them because they'll have a better head-to-head record on us than we will against them. So, I don't know what that means. Let's go. Actually, I need to go back into the other view. Alright, dressing room. Unacceptable. Great. Everyone seems pissed off by that. We're knocked out, so ignore all that stuff that we spoke about, the draw and things earlier. Send our assistant to the press conference. What does that do to our schedule? Oh, look, we had such a good run of green, and now these 2 reds just kind of frustrate me quite a bit. So what I'm thinking is, because this is episode 9, episode 10, we might finish off and do the last 2 games of the season, see where we end up, see if we do enough to actually get ourselves a contract for a second season, and then figure it out from there. So that's where we'll come back. We'll do the last 2 games of the season. It means we're going to play about 8 episodes of league games off screen, but we'll finish season 10. We'll come back. Gives us kind of like next week to actually go and do the off season during the weekend and then come back and start next week, hopefully episode 11, if I get a second season contract, but we'll find out about that in the next episode. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the part I appreciate the most. You can throw a like on this video if you feel sorry for me about our form crumbling randomly in this episode. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on future videos as they continue to release. But as always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mix-up.